Right, my room's a complete mess today, so today you're going to have a vlog from the lounge, just for a change of scene. So today I'm going to be talking about crimping. I grew up in the 90s largely, so I loved a bit of crimping. I wanted it to be as big and crazy as possible. I had that set that I think everyone had at that time, which was white, and you had the changeable plates. So you could have different style of crimps, different shapes and patterns in it. But I gave that to a car boot. Bit of advice, your parents will hate this bit of advice, but don't throw anything away. It does come back in fashion. Years ago I bought another crimper. It was one of the tight crimpers. I went out with my crimped hair, loving it, and then one of the lads that I'm friends with just took the mick all night, so kind of put me off doing it again, even though I loved it. But now you have these crimpers that kind of give you a different effect. It's not quite as mental, it's more of a loose wave, gives more of that beachy look, less intense. I'll give you a look at the Babyliss Deep Waves one that I have. As you can see, very deep barrel, so you're not going to get as fine a kink in your hair. Here is the box, if you want to keep an eye out of it. The official name is Babyliss Boutique Deep Waves, and it says it easily creates beautiful big waves by simply pressing the hair between the ceramic barrels. So this is my hair. I've washed and conditioned it this morning, although it doesn't look very conditioned, and just blow dried it, no styling or whatever, so it's a bit mental. But I try not to put too much product in it because then it makes it a bit too slickerick, and I want to keep it kind of big. So as always, put on some heat defence. I've got this Tresemme one. I say use it, I always forget to use heat protection, but... Oh, a little tip, if you have got one of those old tighter crimpers, if you don't want to use them as an all-over crimper, they are great if you just go under the surface of your hair into the roots and use it kind of as a booster. It gives the appearance of thicker, fuller hair. Top tip there.
Now brush your hair through because you don't want to risk getting the crimper stuck in the knots. If you've been stuck in a heated appliance before, you will know how terrifying it is. Now for the kind of 60s boho thing, I go for a centre parting. Now if you don't have a wonky nose, you can do this by going from your nose and bringing your finger up to your skull and dividing the hair that way. Now, so brushing it through again, just checking all the rat's tails and stuff are sorted. And then I grab my clippers and divide the hair, leaving the underneath section on show, so I can start with the underneath bit. So here goes. It's on, it's heated up. I have it on full blast because that's just how I roll. So depending how big you want the eventual look to be will decide how close to the root you go. Try and get the crimper to be into the dip of the first crimp you did, so you'll kind of get an even crimp all the way down the hair. Professionals say that you shouldn't do the wispy bits at the end. One, because it will make the condition of the hair worse. Two, it ends up just looking a bit bitty at the end. Now if you want to go for that perfection of the you know, Hollywood waves, you'll need to pay close attention to getting each crimp section perfectly in line. I'm going for more of a beachy look, so it doesn't matter that it's not perfect and that it's not regimented. Another tip, when you're doing each crimp, don't pull the hair tight at the root. Try and keep it loose, because pulling it tight will actually pull some of the crimp out, and we don't want that to happen. It's hard to do this, it's kind of a force of habit to keep it taut if you're someone that straightens their hair, but try and keep your hand relaxed. I hold it for about 5 seconds on each crimp and that seems to be alright, but obviously if you want a less drastic look then keep it on for less time. Obviously the underneath layers aren't going to be seen that much, so you don't have to be as perfect with those layers. It's the top layer you want to get really right. So we're on the middle section now. Dividing the hair again in little sections. Again, depending on your thickness in hair and the style you want will kind of decide how big the sections are that you grab. I need to smile more, don't I? And get some more sleep. Those bags are taking over the world. Can any of you guess what program's on in the background then? Right, we're nearly at doing the top section now, and as I said before, that's the section everyone's going to see, so kind of concentrate a bit more on this one and making sure that you really stick to the crimping rules here. I've not done it too close to the root at the front because I did once and it just pinged out from my forehead all day. Wasn't the best look for me. So onto the second side now. Same again. I don't know about you, but I have one side of the hair that's a lot thinner than the other, so this side always takes a lot less time to do. Last bit now. Satisfying once it's nearly ended. Only took about 10 minutes all in all, so that's not bad. Now if you want to look like a disco diva and pump up the volume, then use Superdrug Style Expertise plumping powder, add it to the roots. Or you can turn to Tommy Guns and use their Clever Curls and Waves texture spray. It has seaweed extract and makes your curls look like you've kind of been in the sea and they've got that shine that the salt gives you on holiday. Predictably, I went for volume and big hair, so I just put the powder in the roots like so and then just did a lot of zhuzhing. For me, bigger the better.